Hey, hey, hey. Happy Tuesday. Come on in. Pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by, amazingly enough, thegaminggang.com, of which I happen to be the founder and editor-in-chief. So welcome aboard. Tonight is Tuesday, September 26th, 2023. This is live stream 969. If you're not overly familiar with the show, let me point out, super casual around here. We're not dealing with rocket surgery by any stretch of the imagination. No, we're hanging out, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news, and normally taking a look at a tabletop game, or every once in a while I'll do a live review. And tonight we are going to take a peek inside the upcoming Brancalonia, The Empire Wax Back from Acheron Games. So we're going to be diving on in to take a peek at, this is the fourth volume in the Brancalonia role-playing game series, 4-5E. And stay tuned, because I'm going to have a giveaway. Yes, I'll be giving away all 4 Brancalonia books in PDF to not only a lucky viewer tonight, live nude games, but also someone who comments after the fact. That's right. So 2 lucky viewers, 1 live and 1 maybe live, maybe not live, are going to be able to walk away with Brancalonia in PDF. Very nice. So, I also want to mention, if you're tuning in for the first look, we do tackle the tabletop gaming news first around here. So, kick back, relax, put your feet up. It's probably going to be around 40 minutes or so before we start taking a look at the Empire Wax Back. But if you're watching this after the show ends, hopefully you'll be getting into the contest. But if you're impatient and you just got to get to that first look, you'll be able to. Yes, you will be able to. All you got to do is take a look at the show notes. There will be timestamps there. And just click on those. You can jump right past the tabletop gaming news if you would like. But I do have to point out, I've got cool news tonight. I've got cool news every night. So you may not want to jump past it, especially if you are a fan of role-playing games, which I know a lot of my audience is. So there is that. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you will not find here on the YouTube channel. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Lastly, this is a live show, so that means there is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. And to be honest, how much of that chat would you really be able to read if you're watching this on your phone or tablet or 19-inch television? Nobody's watching on a 19-inch television. Yeah, they're watching on their old Sears TV, baby. Also should point out, you have to be a subscriber to the channel for at least 48 hours before you can take part in chat. Yet another way that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But if you want to say howdy, maybe you got a question, a comment, maybe there's something about the Empire Wax Back you want a closer look at, by all means, chime in. I will do my best to respond. Let's see, who was first out the gate? The Motor City Madman. That's right, one of our chat moderators, Mr. Halloween himself. The Madman is with us, as is Roger Perdome, Testy Trekkie, Anthony Good, Kevin R. Smith, and I will take a wild guess. I think our second chat moderator is floating around. That would be Sarah D. Now, she might not be floating. She's probably standing. But I get the feeling she might be around. So welcome, everybody. Yes, it is just bizarrely humid again down here in the Duct Tape Studios, which I don't really understand, seeing it was only in the low 70s today. But it's just like, blah, blah. All right, so let's see what's cooking in chat before we get to the news. So the Madman points out, yes, Halloween decorations are up. I'll probably throw a couple more things up, but it's not like I've got tons of real estate behind me, right? So it's like, okay, maybe I'll throw like one other thing up here. So yes, I do have my Halloween decorations up. I thought, why not? It's close enough to October. Might as well pop them on up there. Plus, I have been working on some scary role-playing game reviews. So I have actually been holding off on sharing some reviews, such as I have to reach over and grab it, Delta Green, The Conspiracy from Arc Dream Publishing. So I kind of held off on doing the review because I figured, you know what? Halloween's coming up. Why don't I do some scary games as far as reviews and do them early enough where if people are interested, they could actually maybe order them and get them before Halloween. It's one thing, I tweeted this earlier today. I find very unusual. A lot of outlets, they share coverage of Halloween or like horror games, spooky games, and they wait until like the week of Halloween. It's like, really? So if you piqued anyone's interest out there that they'd maybe like to play that or run that for Halloween, good luck getting it in time, unless you could run out to the store and buy it. So I thought, yeah, what the hell? Testy Trekkie points out Mutant Year Zero Ad Astra. I got my news piece for that tomorrow. That is coming tomorrow because I did not get the notification of that new supplement until I'd already wrapped up having all my news ready for today. So stay tuned. I will be sharing that news tomorrow. So the Madman says, are the reviews scary or the games that are scary? Could be both. Could be both. Anthony Good points out that it's been raining all day north of the Chicago area. Yeah, we are supposed to get some rain. Don't know. I don't know. We shall see. All righty. So I think that was about it, except Tessie Trekkie was saying they were disappointed in Free League. Very disappointed. Because it took them 15 minutes to get the DriveThruRPG link for the PDF copy of their pre-order. That's not that bad. And yes, I get it. I know Tessie Trekkie's joking. They are joking. Flaming Heron's with us. So it's possible we've got 3 chat moderators hanging out. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't see Sarah chime in. So maybe she's not hanging out tonight. It's okay. So let's talk about the tabletop gaming news of the day, because next month is going to see the release of Septima, as well as its initial expansion from Mindclash Games, I've got the skinny. Septima is a competitive, high-interaction strategy game of witchcraft. As the leader of a coven, you strive to overcome your rivals to become the worthy successor of Septima, the High Witch. You play through 4 seasons, each consisting of 5 rounds, to gather a powerful coven of witches and gain enough wisdom points to become the worthy successor. You will accumulate wisdom as you practice your craft in the superstitious town of Noctenburg. Gather ingredients, brew powerful potions, perform rituals, heal the afflicted, and work in the shadows to turn suspicion and anger into support and acceptance. Septima invites players into a rich world with mechanisms that satisfy both Eurogamers and thematic game enthusiasts. The rules are easy to understand due to their thematic connections, while they may also contain great tactical and strategic depth. Septima is for 1 to 4 players, ages 12 and up, plays in around 25 minutes per player, and will carry an MSRP of $60. Then we have the Shape-Shifting and Omens expansion. Rumors are abound in Noctenburg. The townsfolk whisper of sights of strangely human-like animals in their homes, the hospital, and even the court. I don't know why they would be going to court. Ominous omens indeed. Gain new abilities as you shift into your powerful animal form, and beware the looming omens in this modular expansion for Septima. The expansion not only adds extra content to the game, but also forces players to rethink their usual strategies. The Omens module gives players a new objective with the low suspicion level, while they need to adapt to new negative and positive effects every turn. The shape-shifting expansion adds new abilities and allows players to gain the upper hand by timing their actions wisely. The expansion is going to carry an MSRP of $20. Both Septima and the Shape-Shifting and Omens expansion will be arriving in October. I thought this looked pretty interesting. Yes, lead your coven of witches. Yes. Although it kind of sounds like they might be white witches because they're healing the afflicted. So that's maybe. Or maybe they're just kind of neutral. They're neutral witches. They're chaotic neutral, right? So like I said, this looked kind of interesting. Bill N has joined us in chat. Welcome, Bill. Good to see you once again. So let's talk about some role-playing game news, because there's some fairly big news. Yes, there is. I know there are a lot of people very excited by this. And that is, Square Enix has revealed there is an upcoming tabletop role-playing game based on Final Fantasy XIV. Here's the scoop. Based on the hit MMO Final Fantasy XIV, the Final Fantasy XIV tabletop role-playing game, say that 5 times fast, is, you guessed it, a tabletop role-playing game that lets you experience Aurasia. I don't know. I actually haven't played FF14. Taking a guess, that's how it's pronounced. From a whole new perspective, step into the shoes of a heroic adventurer or assume the game master's mantle. Then cooperate to forge your own unique stories within the vast and exciting universe of Final Fantasy XIV. Gather your friends together to explore, battle, and roleplay. The only limits are your imagination, and the only goal is to have fun. The Final Fantasy XIV tabletop role-playing game starter set, try saying that 5 times fast, comes with everything you need in order to dive into the game, and includes both the player book and the game master book. It's going to include that player book, which is a beginner-friendly book, which is going to contain everything a new player needs to learn the ropes and rules of role-playing games. Hopefully, this role-playing game specifically. There's also the Game Master book, This handbook offers tips and advice for budding game masters and includes 3 ready-to-run pre-made scenarios that tie in directly to Final Fantasy XIV's main story. There's also pre-made character sheets. So you'll get 4 pre-made full-color character sheets: the Warrior, the White Mage, Dragoon, and Black Mage. We get a rules summary and strategy guide, 16 dice, 6 D20s and 10 D6s. I guess that's the only dice it's going to be utilizing. An encounter map, character tokens, and ability markers. The Final Fantasy XIV tabletop role-playing game starter set will carry an MSRP of $59.99. You can pre-order it right now in preparation for a May 2024 release. Excuse me, I had to choke there for a moment. Choke like the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, I wasn't really joking. Flaming Heron says, damn, Jeff, how dare you not know how to say that totally made-up world name? Bill N says, Square Enix saw Fabula Ultima and said, hold my beer. You know what? I don't know. I don't know, to be very honest. Now, this is a starter set I was sharing the info about. All the images that are out there, effectively, are 3, right? Now, there is also the core book and the Game Master book, which you're taking a look at. The core book now, and you'll see this, well, there you go. Now you're going to take a peek at the Game Master book. So I don't have any info about those, but they did share images of them. I don't know if that's also a May release. Maybe, maybe not. I would think not, because it wouldn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense to release a starter set right on top of the core books. You would kind of be cannibalizing from each other. So I would think maybe those core books are later in the year, maybe 6 months later. Don't know. I am curious about this. I like Final Fantasy. I just haven't played 14. In fact, I think, what was the last one I played? 13? I think it was 13. I think the last Final Fantasy I played was before they launched the MMO. Yeah, I always get a kick out of it. I always thought that you got your money's worth for certain. There was so much gameplay. Yes, granted, a lot of grinding in some cases. But still, I thought you got quite a lot for your money with those games. Moving right along, October 17th is going to see the release of the Planescape Slipcase set for Dungeons & Dragons from Wizards of the Coast. And here's the deets. Planar Pandemonium is just a roll of the dice away in this weird and wonderful adventure. Everything you love about Planescape and more. Return to the incredibly imaginative world of Planescape, where demons and angels sip tea together and the unexpected is just around the corner. So, are you talking about like angels and demons, like, oh, I don't know, good omens? Okay, so he's a devil. He's not a demon, but close enough. From perplexing realities to multiversal glitches, fans of the original Planescape setting will encounter both familiar and unfamiliar uncertainties in this smorgasbord of multidimensional chaos. Create your planes-hopping adventurer. Planescape Adventures in the Multiverse comes with a plethora of unconventional new player options. Choose from 2 new backgrounds. Will you be a Gate Warden, influenced by mysterious planar forces, or a planar philosopher? I've got a cunning plan, me lord. Let me philosophize about that. Who pursues the hidden truths of the multiverse? Channel planar energies with 7 otherworldly feats. Experiment with intriguing magic spells and draw inspiration from Sigil's 12 ascendant factions, each with distinct cosmic ideologies. Infinite realms, infinite storytelling. Bursting with multiversal flavor, this campaign collection contains limitless storytelling inspiration. Dungeon masters will find everything they need to run grand adventures, including adventure hooks, idiosyncratic locations, and multiversal calamities. With a random encounter table and over 50 unusual creatures, planar pandemonium is just a roll of the dice away. Warp through a weird and wonderful world. Immerse yourself in the backstage of reality using Sigil, the City of Doors, as a gateway to explore the surreal landscape of the Outlands. Explore with the double-sided poster map of Sigil in the Outlands, which serve as both adventure locations and springboards to adventures across the multiverse. The possibilities, just like the realms, are endless. I have to chuckle because Sigil in the Outlands sounds like it should be a band. Ladies and gentlemen, Sigil and the Outlands! This campaign collection includes Sigil in the Outlands, a 96-page hardcover book that includes played art character options, details on the fantastic City of Doors, descriptions of the Outlands and the gate towns that lead to the Outer Planes, and more. Turn of Fortune's Wheel, a 96-page hardcover adventure set in Sigil and the Outlands, which is designed for characters of levels 3 to 10, with a sudden jump to level 17. Mort's Planar Parade is a 64-page hardcover book that presents game statistics and descriptions for inhabitants of the Outer Planes, including planar incarnates, hierarch modrons, and time dragons. Timey-wimey dragons. Double-sided poster map of Sigil and the Outlands for you to put up on your bedroom wall with the rest of your favorite bands is included, as is a sturdy 4-panel Dungeon Master's screen. The Planescape Adventures in the Multiverse slipcase will arrive in stores on October 17th. It does carry an MSRP of $84.99. We'll talk about that in a moment. Right now, you can pre-order the digital and physical bundle from D&D Beyond for $94.99. I see they've gotten away from that. Hey, let's charge the same price as the MSRP if you order in advance for the bundle. I don't know why I've got like this frog in my throat tonight. Anyway, that bundle over at D&D Beyond is $94.99. And I guess the cool thing about that is you're going to access the digital files next week. That's right, 2 weeks early. It'll be October 3rd when you get to take a peek. I do not know if I will see this or not. Not a clue. Now, I don't believe any outlets have shared any like first look videos or anything like that. But this is usually around the time, if it's a product that Wizards of the Coast is confident in, when I would receive my review copy. I don't know. I do not know. And remember, I already pointed out, Wizards of the Coast is no longer using a third-party PR company. They are handling it all themselves. So we shall see. I am curious. I am interested in taking a peek. I have, believe it or not, I have actually even considered trying to Dungeon Master some 5e. I know, isn't that shocking, everybody? We'll talk about that after the news. But I am curious about this. I will point out, in my opinion, $85 for less than 300 pages of content. I mean, we're talking about 250-ish, 255-ish. I don't know. I don't have the page number count in front of me. with the Game Master screen, which we've seen, the Game Master screens that come in these slipcases from Wizards of the Coast, they're fine, but there's nothing that, knocks me out about them. I think it's kind of pricey, but if you go to Amazon, I know, a lot of people hate Amazon, just like people hate Walmart. Oh, I hate Walmart. I can't stand Walmart. I got to go to the store. Where are you going? Walmart. That's how Amazon is. Oh, I can't stand Amazon. They put all these small businesses out of business, which so did the Walmart superstores, in case you didn't know. Yeah. Hey, my Amazon order arrived. You're like, thought you hate them. There you go. Flaming Hero says, I like my wallet more, though. See, that's the thing. That's the reality. You can stand on principle for only so long, and then you're like, you know what? I have to eat. Anyway, I want to say, somebody out there in chat can probably take a peek and let me know for sure. I want to say that Planescape Adventures in the Multiverse, this slipcase set, can be pre-ordered from Walmart, or not Walmart, Amazon for around, I think it's $59, $56.99, somewhere in that ballpark. Now you're talking. Now I think, okay, that's a pretty fair price. In fact, to be honest, it's a really fair price. So, and always keep your eyes peeled if you are not somebody who grabs the latest 5e D&D releases right when they come out. Couple of months pass, take a peek at Amazon.com, because a lot of times you are going to see some of the D&D releases 50% off, 60% off. I think they, at one point, had that Ravenloft remastered box, which the box was actually cool. The product itself, way overpriced, but they had it for like 70% off, because I think it was $100. And they had it for like $29.99 at one point. For $29.99, that was a hell of a deal. So, just saying, if you really don't care about getting the digital files over on D&D Beyond, you might want to throw a look at Amazon. Hey, who knows? If Wizards of the Coast doesn't like me anymore, I might have to go to Amazon.com and order it. The Madman says it is $59.49 over at Amazon.com. $84.99 MSRP, $59.49 Amazon. That is, once again, a smoking deal. Now, it looks like we've got a lot going on in chat. So, Kevin King is with us, and Kathy Evans has popped on in. You know me, I always like to try to say hi to everybody who decides to spend some time hanging out and chat with us. Russell Higgins is here. He says, the devil, you say? DMing 5e? 5e is the devil. So there is discussion of Numenera. So Monty Cook, Kevin King points out, Monty Cook and company captured a lot of the flavor of the original Planescape in Numenera. Wonder if this WotC effort will be as interesting. As far as I know, I thought Monty was like just a big fan of Planescape in the first place. I thought he actually worked on some Planescape releases. I might be wrong. I don't know. Because remember, once we leave first edition D&D, in fact, I left D&D when it was still in first edition AD&D and didn't really start poking my nose around in it until late in the fourth edition run. For some reason, I thought Monty Cook had a lot of experience in that. And yes, Numenera is very interesting. I have not seen the latest edition that came out. I did review the first edition, which, granted, it was being presented as reinventing the wheel, which obviously it did not, but it was still an excellent role-playing game. Nero's Fiddle is swinging on in and says there's a lot of 5e stuff they use for their Shadow of the Demon Lord games. Just got to give it a dark and twisted spin, and off you go. I would probably look to run something that was built around the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. So I would actually use 5e more as, yeah, essentially it's just the system itself, and have more of a fairy tale vibe to the proceedings. I'm sure it's not going to happen. I'm just saying I've actually considered it, and I've actually considered looking to run role-playing games for people I do not know. Not as, pay me to do it, but because it is so difficult to get the gang together recently, and I really want to run stuff. And you know what? Maybe one of these days, actually play in a fucking role-playing game again. Seeing I've only gotten to do it once in the last, 30 years. On to the last news piece. The latest edition of Paranoia is now available in PDF, and you can also pre-order it from Mongoose Publishing. And here is the information the computer has required me to provide to you, citizen. Many role-playing games, there we go, that frog in my throat again. I know, I don't know, I'm feeling silly tonight. Many role-playing games have rules that are applied objectively, so players can help each other do heroic things, like saving yet another kingdom, fighting more orcs, or something else that has been done repeatedly in other role-playing games. This is not that game. This is the Paranoia role-playing game. This is one of those rule books that's fun to read and even more fun to play. Paranoia does not take itself seriously, so we can find dark humor in bureaucracy, politics, business, and a lot more. No sacred cows but one. Make sure the GM and the players are all having a great time. Is that not refreshing for a role-playing game? Are you not entertained? Maybe that is why this science fiction role-playing game has won lots of awards over the years. In this darkly humorous role-playing game, the computer loves you, but it is insane. Well, strike that. Happy. You'll be sent on impossible, let's say glamorous missions filled with catch-22s, redacted, fun and satire. No, not gonna say that. Safety. Your teammates are out to kill, support you, and you are out to kill, protect them. All in all, your missions will be dangerous, entertaining, and you will likely die. Be promoted. Here it is, a brand new edition for the modern world. Surely there's nothing happening these days worthy of satire, right? The 144-page hardcover can be pre-ordered, including the PDF, for an MSRP of $49.99, or grab the PDF right now over at DriveThruRPG for $29.99. I want to take a look at this. I had the original Paranoia, a lot of the splat books that came out for it back when it was from West End Games. I'd be very, very interested in taking a peek at this, because Paranoia is an entertaining role-playing game to read as a game master. I don't know how well it plays, because once again, this was one of those role-playing game systems that I bought. I had way too much money back in the day. That was a problem. I had way too much money, and I like to blow it on games and hanging out in bars. I know that doesn't really seem like those two would go together, does it? But yeah, that was kind of the thing. Every once in a while, some nightclubs, but usually it was just kind of, neighborhood bars. And Paranoia was like really riotously funny. I'm not going to say hysterical, because that is a word that is just overused way, way too much. And it's like literally. People who use literally all the time literally do not understand the definition of literally. Hysterical, sort of like that as well. But it was always really funny. But then I had also heard stories from people who had run it, had played it, and it was always far more entertaining in concept than in actual execution. No, I don't know. I have no idea. Flaming Aaron says, drinking in RPGs sounds normal to me. Oh no, they were separate. I didn't go like out to bars to play role-playing games and drink. I was just out drinking and chatting with ladies and stuff like that. But I would, like I said, I'd be very, very interested in checking this out. I will point out that I did notice from this screenshot here, you can't make it out, but an F-bomb is dropped there. So obviously this edition of Paranoia is aimed at, mature audience. I don't mean adults, but it's not for the 13-year-olds out there. Although I'm sure they drop F-bombs. What do you mean? I don't have to be sure. I know for a fact most 13-year-olds drop F-bombs at far greater frequency than I do. And in real life, I kind of curse like a sailor. Anyway, once again, this is available in PDF over at DriveThruRPG for $29.99, or pre-order the hardcover with PDF for $49.99. All righty then, that wraps up the news for tonight. Before I forget, I was just talking about DriveThruRPG. The gaming gang, thus the Dispatch, is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to visit DriveThruRPG or Dungeon Masters Guild, Storytellers Vault, Wargame Vault, any of the One Bookshelf sites, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads. That way, if you happen to make a purchase, I get a small portion of that sale at no extra cost to you. I know some people think if they use an affiliate link, they're paying more. No. And all those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep thegaminggang.com around. We are still in the September Modern Setting sale. This week, Cyberpunk and Cyberpunk Red is on sale. I have my review of Danger Gale Dossier coming later this week. If you want to dip your toes into Cyberpunk Red, it's a perfect time to do it. If I remember right, I think I saw it for a second. For some reason, I think the core book is on sale for $7 over at DriveThruRPG. That's a smoking deal on a damn interesting role-playing game. Maybe not the most well laid out role-playing game, but it is a really interesting role-playing game and just tons and tons of content built into it. Also, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. Why am I saying that? I'm telling you, I'm in a weird mood today. I'll tell you why. Because I started getting stuff ready for the October Spooktacular, getting files together and stuff like that. And I don't know, I was listening to some of the episodes and I was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to share this stuff. Working hard. Hardly working. Anyway, if you like this show, if you like this video, give it a quick thumbs up. Of course, if you dig the channel, if you find thegaminggang.com to be a valuable resource, hell, if you just like what we do, you can always swing on over to paypal.me/thegaminggang and make a small donation. And you can buy me a 2-liter bottle of pop if you'd like, or soda, depending on how you like to present it, right? Soda, pop, what have you. Thankfully, there are quite a lot of people out there who do utilize the banner ads over at thegaminggang.com and or stop by paypal.me/thegaminggang. So thank you very much, everybody. Thanks, Easter Bunny. Bok, bok. All right, so let's see what's going on in chat, and then I'll share a random musing with you. Bill N says, I'd run a game for you guys, Jeff, but most of the stuff I want is niche stuff like Mutant Year Zero and Star Trek Adventures. I have no issue with that. The game I actually had an opportunity to play was Mutant Crawl Classics. Granted, it was, at Gary Con for 3 hours, but yeah. Says, Kevin R. Smith says, according to Wikipedia, Monty Cook did in fact write dozens of Planescape supplements. I thought so. I thought he was heavily invested into that. Flaming Heron says, drinking in RPGs. Oh, wait, no, I already covered that one. There you go. Flaming Heron says, because I saw something else about RPGs that Flaming Heron said. You are meant to run RPGs you buy? Damn, that's what I'm doing wrong. For sure, for certain. Bill N says, yes, Cyberpunk Red is an amazing game with amazing rules presented in a mediocre rule book. Yeah, that presentation is just kind of a mess. Hector Stratford is with us. I believe this might be a first-time visit in chat from Hector. Name's not ringing a bell, but every once in a while we do get somebody who's like, no, man, I've been in chat like 5 times on your show. And Amelia Smith is also hanging on out with us. So got a good chat off and running. I was going to say, I had kind of bounced around. I was thinking, because it just, every time we try to get something together, because remember, I kicked off Mask of Nyarlathotep for Call of Cthulhu with the gang. And then my nephew was like, when we were scheduled to play again, he was like, oh, I've been working too much at his part-time job. And I need some me time. And I was like, yeah, okay, we're not playing this. We're not going to be doing, we're going to play every, month and a half, 2 months. It's either we do this every 2 weeks or we don't do it at all. So I was like, you know what, forget it. And then my brother, who is a flight attendant for Southwest, his schedule changed and he's like, yeah, I want to play. So I was like, oh, okay. So it'll be my brother and Elliot, maybe my niece, and maybe Elliot's son, which to me, that's fine. 4 people, 3. I ran Massive Nyarlathotep with 3 players and just would throw in an NPC from time to time. And that was fine. So I would do that. Well, and then Elliot was sick, couldn't do it. Then my brother was like, oh, I got to pick up a flight. All right. So it's sort of like every time we're trying to get something scheduled, no dice. And keep in mind, I also have board games I need to do reviews of. So I am looking for some gamers out there. I had somebody reach out to me about a convention in the suburbs of Chicago. They said it's a pretty small convention and asked if I was curious about maybe checking it out. I think it's like a Saturday, Sunday kind of show. So I was going to respond. I just got that today. So yeah, I mean, it's getting to the point where I'll run games with strangers, but I've gone to some game clubs where it's sort of like, I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, but anyway, I was kind of kicking it the other night, and I thought, I'd even run 5e just to be able to, to run some role-playing games, because, I'm not getting younger. Yeah. Regardless of what you might think, no, I am not getting younger. The Madman says, my Savage Worlds group was running on 3 players for a few years. Now we got 6 regulars and up to 9 on rare nights. I would find 9 players around the table to probably be, for a like Call of Cthulhu, that'd be far, far too many. I would just have to be killing some of them left and right. Not the same players all the time, but yeah, 9 characters. Ooh, that's a lot. But depending on what you're running, and I know the Madman runs a lot of different stuff. Hey, speaking of Savage Worlds, I got an email today that next week they're going to be shipping out the Suede. So Savage Worlds Adventure Edition. I think that's it. I don't think it's Adventurer Edition. I think it's Adventure Edition. And Deadlands and Pathfinder for Savage Worlds. So we will be taking a peek at those in the near future, which is cool because I have wanted to share more coverage of Pinnacle Entertainment Group releases. So that's very nice. The Madman says, yes, it is Adventure Edition. Also, yesterday I talked to my buddy T.S. Lucart from Cubicle 7 Entertainment. We are all good. Everything is lined up. Remember, there was some problems with their marketing person. I'm not going to rehash that again, but they are no longer there. So, and I'm not going to, get into a whole marketing rant again. Anyway, there is a lot of cool stuff on the horizon from Cubicle 7 Entertainment, and I cannot discuss any of it with you. Sorry. I can't. But October, November, we're going to see, because the funny thing is, Cubicle 7 was still catching up from COVID-19 slowdowns and stuff like that. So we are going to see some physical book releases hitting in October and November. And I will mention one thing. I'm not going to get into too much detail because I can't. But I had mentioned at TS that I was actually surprised how much they continue to support Warhammer 40K Wrath and Glory, because it wasn't their game. And of course, they've got the new Warhammer 40K. I can't even pronounce the Indictus Mechanicus or whatever. I don't take a look at these games until the physical book arrives, even though I've got the PDF. But I had mentioned that to TS. I said, I'm surprised. Not that I was like disappointed that they are or anything, I actually stick up for Wrath and Glory when people are like, oh, that would never happen at Warhammer 40K. You'd never have somebody working with this guy. And it's like, come on, man. It's supposed to be some great disaster has taken place, right? They're stuck. But some big, exciting developments are on the horizon in 2024 for Warhammer 40K, Wrath and Glory. So it is not going anyplace. I thought that was very cool. I thought that was very nice. And of course, we talked a little WIFRIP. So we got some WIFRIP action. We were talking a bit about Soulbound, Age of Sigmar, which I think that was our main casualty of the marketing fiasco. Really didn't have anything new for that, although I think they were mainly PDF. But Sammy reviews the Soulbound stuff. So she really didn't have anything new to review because I wasn't getting the PDFs. So, but yeah, I had a nice, hour and a half long chat with TS. So that was pretty cool. And maybe in the future, we'll actually do a Skype interview or just, an online interview that I could share with you where he can bring you some of the developments over at Cubicle 7 Entertainment that he's able to share with the public. Kevin R. Smith says, yep, I'm anticipating my advanced player's guide. Unfortunately, they couldn't afford the adventure path for Pathfinder 4 Savage Worlds. Yeah, I was going to say, isn't that Curse of the Crimson Throne? Wasn't that it? I have to point out, I will actually have a review of Kingmaker before the end of October. I have actually been reading it. The book is massive. So I am going to be reviewing that. I've got a bunch of reviews on the horizon. I've been spending a lot of time reading. Thankfully, I am literate and I'm able to do that. Very nice. Okay, so we are going to be diving on in and taking a look at Brancalonia, The Empire Whacks Back. In a few moments, I am going to reveal the contest in a few moments. But first, I think it's time for a brief intermission.
Sugar Bear, who eats Super Sugar Crisp cereal?
Shaggy Dan, he'll be back.
How do you know?
Super Sugar Crisp. Eat 'em once, you want 'em twice. They're super duper good.
Let's teach him a lesson.
Shaggy loves my cereal, but he hates water. So...
Eat 'em once, you want 'em twice. I hate water.
Beat it, Shag.
I shall return.
Let's have a good breakfast featuring post Super Sugar Crisp. So super duper good, eat 'em once.
You want him twice!
Did you drink your Wilkins coffee this morning?
Of course not.
Okay. That boy's got a long way to go.
It's time for Funny Face!
Howdy! Grapes, the name. Goofy Grape. Though why they call me Goofy, I don't know. Yes, sir. I'm one of the new Funny Face drinks from Pillsbury.
Funny Face's fancy drink!
One of the new Funny Face drinks. Here's what you do. You pour me into a pitcher, add water, don't add sugar. I'm already sweet when you buy me. You can drink all you want. Mom won't mind. 'Cause look, Mom, I'm pre-sweetened without sugar. And so are my friends. Injun Orange. Oh. Rootin' Tootin' Raspberry.
Yahoo!
Freckle-faced Strawberry.
Hi.
Chinese Cherry. And Loudmouth Lime. Hello, hello, hello. Look for us at your store. Funny Face drinks from Pillsbury.
Funny Face's fancy drink.
We're sweet without sugar, so no sugar mess.
We hope you're enjoying your visit here this evening. Now, on with the show.
Oh, Funny Face drink mix. Are you politically incorrect? Let me count the ways. Jeez. Oh, yeah. And that like life-size sugar bear. Like, if I was a kid, I'd be terrified of that. Especially knowing that it uses that Bing Crosby voice and how much Bing Crosby hated kids, especially his own. Oh man. Sarah D is with us. She said, oh, those drink names. Yeah, they're pretty bad. Pretty bad. Scott B. Smith is with us in chat. We've got multiple Kevins. We've got multiple Smith last names. I'm going to be confused. No, not really. So tonight, we are going to be diving on in and taking a first look at Brancalonia. No, it is not a Brancalonia. It is Brancalonia, the Empire Wax Back from Acheron Games. That is the correct pronunciation. I had somebody comment that, no, that's not the correct pronunciation. It's like, oh, yes, it is, because that's the pronunciation I got from the folks who work for Acheron Games. So, The Empire Wax Back is written by Mauro Longo and Marco Bertini, with artwork provided by Lorenzo Nudi and Fabio Porfidia. This 253-page hardcover, we're going to double check, make sure that is the correct page count, is going to arrive in stores in October. It's going to carry an MSRP of $45. You can get the PDF right now over at DriveThruRPG for $19.99. Flaming Heron says, people just want to argue that they know better than everyone else, Jeff. Oh, yeah, I know. Tessie Trekkie says, the Empire waxed back a long, long time ago in a land far, far away. A long, long time ago, I can still remember how the music used to make me cry. I used to be able to sing that from memory. Now I'm not even sure I get the first few lines right. So bye. Now, anyway. All right, let's swing on over to the other camera, because here we've got Brancalonia, the Empire Wax Back. A few things I want to mention before we jump on in. First of all, the fine folks over at Acheron Games were kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the gaming gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this coverage with you. It's important that you know that. We're also not going to look at each and every page of the Empire Wax Back, but I want to give you a good feel for what's in this book. And then lastly, there is a campaign within this. I think it's 8 or 10 parts. And keep in mind, if you are a player and you're hoping your game master is going to run Brancalonia, or maybe they are running Brancalonia and you think they're going to run the Empire Wax Back, probably want to tune out now, because there's going to be some spoilers, even though I know nothing about what's in this book. In fact, I haven't even read the back of this book. That'll be a first time, and hopefully I don't stumble over a bunch of words on the back of the book. There are going to be some spoilers, so just want to let you know. Bill N is wrapping it up. Good to see you, Bill. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully we'll see you soon. So let me explain the contest, since Bill's gone now. All you got to do is be in chat right now. That's all you have to do as a live viewer. And let me know, not right this minute. I will ask you for the answer. But let me know what your favorite spaghetti film is. It could be spaghetti western, spaghetti fantasy, spaghetti crime. I know they've got that as well. Flaming Heron's like, I'm in chat. I said get into the running. I didn't say I'm going to give it to everybody in chat. So when I'm done taking a first look, I will ask for those who want to be part of this contest to share in chat their favorite spaghetti film. And I am also going to give away a second set of Brancalonia books to people who place a comment in the video. Please give, the video a thumbs up too. But you got to be a subscriber and you need to comment, and that'll be the comment too. You have to just let me know, what is your favorite spaghetti movie? Easy peasy. I always try to make this stuff easy for folks. I think the toughest part is, well, you got to be a subscriber. That's how it works. May the fork be with you. Brancalonia, the Empire Wax Back, is Brancalonia's first official campaign, created in cooperation with Feudalism and Freedom. That's kind of funny. This book contains an original gaming campaign made up of 10, interconnected episodes, and also features additional content unlocked during the outstanding crowdfunding campaign held in 2021. Here we got all the information. What's in the book? Well, I'm not going to read that because we're going to take a peek. Should mention, as far as I understand, the reason why this is called Brancalonia is it's a take on Brancaleone, which was a spaghetti film, but it's set during, I think it's set during like the 13th century or something like that. It's set during one of the Crusades, and it's an Italian comedy, but it falls into that whole kind of spaghetti Western kind of motif, right? So it's spaghetti fantasy, although it's not a fantasy setting. It's Italy, but still. And I think that's where Brancalonia comes from. And I guess there were a couple of movies. There was Brancaleone and then its sequel. So Anthony Good says, ooh, that map looked sweet. Well, there you go. Get another peek at it. Hopefully the camera shot is nice and clear for you. So we've got our table of contents. We've got our credits here. A lot of artists involved with the Empire Wax Back. I like Brancalonia. Brancalonia has a nice sense of humor. Its tongue is firmly in cheek, but it's not silly. It's not goofy. It's not the Warner Brothers, sort of fantasy setting. It's like, oh yeah, it's a fantasy setting for Animaniacs. No, it's nothing like that, but it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't take itself too seriously. And it's got a lot of really cool options for 5e. More so than a lot of 5e third-party books that I have seen. And you got to keep in mind, I don't share reviews of every book I receive, because every once in a while, I will get stuff that I'm just like, this is going to get a negative review. It's like I reach out and let the publisher or author know. They're like, oh, that's okay. The first look video, that was fine. That was okay. So we get some new races. Archimboldo. In many ways, an Archimboldo, it's obviously not being pronounced correctly coming out of my mouth, is the mirror image of a non-existent, which is, it's not a ghost, but it's not there. So it tends to be like a suit of armor. And if you were to raise the visor, there's nothing in there. That is the non-existent. While the latter, here we go. While the latter is an empty vessel, enshrouding, I should say, non-existent, made of ideals and passions. The former is a jumble of matter that has become alive and sentient, growing a form of existence out of all the places it's made of. Oh, I'm sorry, pieces it's made of. This font's a little small at this distance. So we always get like nicknames, typical names, traits. So this is essentially a construct, which we also have. The marionettes is a player species. They call it races in Brancalonia, so I'll call it a race. So we've got that. We've got the jackrabbit. Obviously, these are large rabbits, anthropomorphic. 3 or 4 feet tall, plus their ears, covered with fur, cloaks, and hoods, armed to their teeth, silent and agile. Jackrabbits are among the most stealthy and aggressive beings you can encounter. Jackrabbits' posture, language, and skills are similar to those of a human, but their ways are wilder, and they live in tribal or clan-focused societies. Their largest communities live in the Black Forests or along rivers and settlements of certain Ultimanian principalities. But, oh, there we go. When a community becomes overcrowded, the young are sent to join the imperial armies, where they form special teams of saboteurs or stormtroopers and make a living by launching merciless assaults and raids. So we've got that. We've got the Paraghoul. There are rumors of every kind about the Paraghouls, and not all of them are edifying. Indeed, almost none is. The most widespread describe them as hidden rulers and strategists of the ghouls and other lesser undead, lords of a remote and infamous underground kingdom known as Yucksville. All right, Kevin, don't be giving me the answer yet. The contest hasn't started yet. That was Kevin King, by the way. Kevin King also pointed out they're getting a Princess Bride vibe. Yeah, that is one of the recommended movies to watch for this setting. A Paraghoul is dead as a doornail. There is no doubt about this. Still, a Paraghoul is as sentient and as intelligent as they were in life, and they keep more or less the same skills, abilities, proficiencies, along with their goals, thoughts, ideals, bonds, and alignment. Okay. So we get new personalities and backgrounds. Now I will start skipping pages. I did want to kind of get an idea of what those new races were. I don't think we have a new class. We have new backgrounds and personalities. New feats. Forced march. Fork choke. The sinister power of the fork. Jeez. Really? I thought it was just a joke, the fork be with you. But I guess not. The sinister power of the fork is mostly exerted through death sentences by hanging, the procedure from which the order draws its cruel, mystical power. So we have the fork choke, fork deception, fork dexterity, fork push. But I would think, because you're not really supposed to play evil characters in Brancalonia, you don't necessarily play good characters either. You really are looking at neutral, true neutral, or chaotic neutral for the most part for your player characters. But that seems like those would be feats for some of the baddies. So we got new equipment and spells. Big focus of the Empire Waxback is warfare. That I do understand. And I think our campaign adventure is going to play into that as well. So we've got the new spells. New dive games. You know, one of the expansions actually has a section about like bar games. Flaming Heron says, no forking way. New grand luxuries. We have an imperial revenge system. Another aspect of Brancalonia with these expansions that have come out, they always have adventures, which I'm very pleased to say, and a good amount of page count is devoted to adventures. But there are a lot of options which are very modular. So you could easily take things that you're like, oh, hey, you know what? I really like that. I'm going to include that. I like that mechanic. And then other things you're like, I'm not too thrilled with that. It's not a problem. Not a problem at all, because the extras that are included in the supplementary material, like I said, they're all fairly modular. So if there's a race that you're like, oh, hey, I like that. And then you're like, rabbits? I don't want no rabbits in my Brancalonia game. Easy peasy. And Darius Termina is with us in chat. Another aspect of Brancalonia I think is pretty funny are the junk magic items. I wonder if we're going to see some. We have domain summoning. For the pleasing of layabouts and weaklings of the kingdom, here are some crumbs of history and roughly sketched geography of the empire and its surroundings. So it looks like we're getting a wee bit of a gazetteer. Looks like we got another map. Aha, the imperial capital. Palatine city of His Holiness, the Emperor of Altamagna. Altamagna? I don't know. Come on. This is all based on Italian folklore and myth. I treat English as a second language. You think I'm going to pronounce any of this Italian stuff correctly? Come on, get out of here. You know what's going on. The Imperial Name Register. So we have more names for the Bounty Kingdom. So this is where we're getting into one of the sections where we see it's just more detail about various different aspects of the setting. That's something else that I have noticed in each and every one of the expansions that have come out, or I shouldn't say expansions, supplements that have come out. And then we got the Empire Wax Back. This is our campaign. The self-proclaimed Bounty Kingdom is in turmoil. Taxation of trade routes across the Crown Mountains and on every aspect of life in the northern towns is at risk. Hoping to resolve the matter with a blockade of deadly armored wagons, the greedy Blowhard League has stopped all shipments to the small city of Brasamo, but was overwhelmed by the Empire's ultimate weapon, the Death Tower, an armored siege weapon with enough power to destroy an entire town. I wonder where they got this idea from. Because it seems familiar. I can't put my finger on exactly where I may have heard this sort of a plot before. Tired of these uprisings, the Emperor has... God, the font and just some strange reason, the font and a little bit of glare that I'm getting at the angle I'm at, it's not making this easy to make out. Tired of these uprisings, the Emperor has gathered the Altamanic armies and appointed faithful Arch-Chancellor Reginald as their commander. He accompanies the armies on their march south, together with his younger daughter, with the intention of attempting a diplomatic resolution and dynastic marriage. But now Princess Leela is missing, kidnapped, or on the run, pursued by the Empire's jackrabbits and other sinister agents. Throughout the pagan plain, bounty hunters, mercenaries, companies of fortune, and bands of knaves are on her trail. For some reason, everyone seems to believe that only she can save the bounty kingdom from war and restore the freedom to the towns of the north. So there we go. That is a bit of a summary of what's kicking off our adventure campaign. And it looks as if these are episodic. So here we have Star Wars, episode 1. So we've got the introduction for the knaves, which are your player characters. Some hooks to get them involved. Background for the game master, the conditario. I'm sure I mispronounced that too. Flaming Heron said it's definitely worth a look for anyone on the fence. Kevin R. Smith says, I was lukewarm towards Brancalonia, but this book is making me like it. The Madman says that they would definitely check out Brancalonia if it was made for Savage Worlds. The Madman and his Savage Worlds, I tell you. I'm just kidding. In Search of Leela, that's the princess. Cool. Scene 2, a bad feeling. I've got a bad feeling about this. I can see right off the bat, we are going to be running across a bunch of satirical references to Star Wars. So we've got the First Order. If you haven't seen some of my coverage of Brancalonia so far, it is a low magic, low level fantasy setting based on Italian legend, myth, and popular culture and literature. And your player characters belong to a company. So they are kind of like mercenaries, essentially. Now you can kind of create your own company however you want. And then they'll have a patron for that company who sends them off on jobs. And those are the adventures that are included in the other 2 supplements for Brancalonia. Now, this, the way it's laid out is different. Not a lot, but a bit from the jobs. Because the jobs you don't really string them together. They're just kind of one-shots, maybe 2-session adventures. But they are really entertaining. And I could see them being a lot of fun to play as a player. Flaming Heron says, the First Order, not the sequel trilogy, please. Hey, well, who knows? We might actually get the first trilogy in here, too. But as you can see, the production quality is really top-notch for these books. That's a pretty cool Game Master map there. A keyed map. This is scene-based. That's why, as I'm flipping on through, you're seeing the various different scenes. So this is the adventures, the jobs, things like that are certainly not sandboxy by any stretch of the imagination. They are essentially on rails, which, got to be honest, you know, more and more people just really don't care about that. They don't care how linear adventures are anymore. Unless you're really into the old school Renaissance, then probably not too keen on adventures being linear. But I say it all the time, and people talk about railroading. A lot of times, railroads are just awful, especially the way some of the Dungeons and Dragons adventures are, where it's kind of like, really? Okay. And I pointed out, somebody had actually commented on, I want to say it's the recent review I did on the latest D&D release, and they were saying, because I was talking about how, you'll have things where it's like, oh, the player characters are going to try to do this, try to do that, try to do this. Maybe they're gathering clues, and maybe they'll fail because of their dice rolls. Well, then suddenly there's an NPC who shows up and gives them what they were looking for anyway. And it's like, well, what the hell was the point of that? And they were like, oh, they went into this long, just like novella about, well, you got to understand this is the reason why it's designed that way, and blah, 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 and yada, yada. Because I'm like, if you're just going to give them the information, just give them the information. Don't make them go rolling dice and failing and all this other shit and then be like, oh, well, Barbara shows up and she's got everything for you here on this platter. And they were essentially saying, oh, well, it's for player agency and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, well, I didn't respond to it because I was like, well, this person put a lot of thought into their comment. But to me, I thought to myself, no, it's just lazy design. Now, I'm not talking about Brancalonia. If you suddenly tuned in, you're like, oh, what? Lazy design. That's what it is. Railroads can be fine. I do share the thought that, railroads can be fun. All depends on what kind of scenery you've got on the ride and what the destination is. Just make the players feel like they've got agency. That's really what it's called. Man says, I played an adventure where we were significantly railroaded. None of our decisions mattered. No matter what we did, the end result was going to be the same. It was awful. Kevin King says, yeah, it's called Dragonlance. That was a good one, Double K. Yeah, talk about something that I just never understood the popularity of that. Even though I didn't own it, but I had heard stories about it when it was out. All right, so it looks like we've got our gazetteer, our bestiary, going to have some important NPCs. That's cool artwork. I like that. The Imperial Envoy. A Fork Renegade. Oh, I'm getting the feeling I'm going to like this quite a lot. The Knife Grinder. Oh, here we go. Here's our princess. Princess Leela. Or Lelia. I guess it's Lelia. Princess Lelia. What? Yeah. I don't know if anybody out there in chat's going to get that reference. Okay, here's our bad guy. I bet you that's our big bad. Reginald the Faithful. Yes, he is a doggo. Cool. So, what did I say? 253 pages? That's got to be the PDF. Because this is 50. 250. And a little bit of artwork here. All righty. So that is a look inside Brancalonia. The Empire Wax Back from Acheron Games. This is arriving in stores in October. It's going to carry an MSRP of $45. Or you can grab the PDF right now over at DriveThruRPG for $19.99. Hee-hee. Like I said, this looks like this is going to be fun. Let's swing it over to the other camera because it's time for the contest. That's right. If you are interested in winning the 4 books that make up Brancalonia in PDF. I'm going to ask you right now, if you are in chat, to let me know what is your favorite spaghetti film, spaghetti western, spaghetti fantasy, spaghetti mobster, what have you. Let me know, and I will randomly select a winner. So while people are tossing that up in chat, let's talk about what's on the horizon. So on tomorrow's show, I am going to be unboxing and taking a first look at Lawyer Up Season 1 from Rock Manor Games. That's right, it is 4 cases. And I thought this is a pretty interesting mix. We've got art forgery, murder, The Godfather, and a witch trial. So it's not just like modern courtroom drama going on. So we've got that. We've got that. Then on Thursday, I am going to share a first look at Severed Fate, which is from Smoldering Dung Games. Yes, you heard that correctly. It is Smoldering Dung Games. John Keefe reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in taking a peek at this OSR module. And I guess Mr. Keefe wrote some D&D modules back in the day, or contributed to Dungeons and Dragons modules back in the day. So I'm like, all right, I'll take a peek. We'll take a peek inside. Sounds like a plan. A week from tonight, we will be taking a look at Maximum Apocalypse, also from Rock Manor Games. I think a week from tomorrow, we'll probably dive into another Victory Point game. Maybe the trial of, I think it's Louis Riel. I think that's the name. So I think we'll take a look at that. All right. So let's take a look. Give folks another moment or two to get their answers in for the contest. Now, remember, you can also take part in the contest where you need to comment on this video. So, yeah, you're going to double dip if you are watching live and are taking part in chat. Mike Dimart is hanging out with us. I got to say, I think this might be a first-time visit for Mike. Oh, also, must be a subscriber, gang. The reality is, I think everybody in chat is a subscriber, so I'm not real concerned. But that is also going to be part of the contest where you comment on the video. I'll talk about that in a minute. So let's take a look. Let's see what we have got here. The Madman. We've got Mike, Anthony Good. Both Kevins, I believe, are in the running. Yes, they are. So Mike says, I watch a lot, actually. I just don't recognize your name in chat. That's all. And I pointed out earlier that sometimes a name doesn't ring a bell, and somebody's like, no, this is like the 6th time I've been in chat, dude. Talking in chat, not just lurking. So, Kevin says, don't you have to be a sub for 48 hours to be in chat? Well, that's what I tell you, right? You know what? I don't know. It's supposed to be set that way. But we have had people from publishers who've popped in when I'm doing a first look at something and they've joined chat, and they are not subscribers. So, shh. I thought it's supposed to be. That's what I've got set up. Okay, so how many do we have here? What, 6 maybe? So let's see. Madman, Mike, Anthony, that's 3. Kevin King says Flash Gordon. I will accept that. I consider that to be like a spaghetti science fiction. So that's 4. Kevin R. Smith is in. Fistful of Dollars. That is 5. I think we're at 5, right? All right. Okay, let's jump back over to the other camera here. I'll just take a 6-sided die, and if I get a 6. So Flaming Heron says, me too, Jeff. Did I not? Where's Flaming Heron? Where's his entry? Oh, there you go. Actually, one of the best spaghetti westerns of all time. In fact, in my opinion, the best spaghetti western of all time. Once Upon a Time in the West. Yeah, Henry Fonda really playing against type there. All right, so we'll make Flaming Heron. I think he's 5 then, which makes Kevin R. Smith number 6. Here we go. Gonna roll this one. I wanted to grab a die that will stand out so you can see the number. Number 2. And number 2 would be Mike Dimart. There you go. I don't know why I laughed like that. It's like, what am I, Woody Woodpecker? It's like, what the hell? So congratulations, Mike. As Kevin says, break out the sake dice. I actually have 2 sets of sake dice now. It's like, okay. All right, so Mike, what I need you to do is I need you to email Jeff McAleer at thegaminggang.com, and it has to be from your email address, which is associated with your YouTube account. So there you have it. Nice. Very, very nice. Okay, so if you are watching after the fact, you can still get into the running. Same exact contest. Please give the video a thumbs up, be a subscriber, and tell me your favorite spaghetti movie. And what was that stupid movie? Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs or something, that kid's animated film? That doesn't count. Well, there's spaghetti in it. I'm sure. I don't know. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Makes me think of spaghetti. So that's it. That's all you got to do. Easy peasy. What I will do is I will give some folks time to get into the running. So a week from today, I will share who the winner is for the second Brancalonia contest. So there is that. All righty then. Already told you what's cooking this week and into next. So that's it for this time out. If you like the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell, because it'll not only, as I reach over to grab something, let you know when the Dispatch streams live Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings right here on YouTube. It'll also inform you when I upload other videos, such as my upcoming review of Mason, A Wicked Secret, and Other Mysteries from Free League Publishing. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you will not find here on the YouTube channel. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Everybody enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is in your neck of the woods. If you took part in chat tonight, thank you once again, because as I point out all the time, not only are you keeping me company, you're keeping each other company while I'm doing a first look or I'm paging through a book. But I know a lot of you out there, you don't get to watch live. Doesn't matter if you're watching live or on Memorex. I really do appreciate all of you taking time out to watch any of the videos. here on the channel. I'll be back tomorrow. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. And until I see you next time, because there might not be tomorrow, you might only stop by every once in a while. I certainly hope all of you get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.